got some parts. Took a little while since we made the last video, but this is for the single cab short bed, I guess you could say red maroon truck. We got some parts coming in. We got the engine. We got all the goodies from Texas Speed. So I went with Texas Speed because that's where the headers I get fit. And I mean, I've went with BTR before, but I've always had to go to Texas Speed for my headers. So being this wasn't my deal, this wasn't my purchase, I guess to say, it's all on Mr. Customer. So I said it'd be easier just to get it all from one place. And my extended cab blue truck has got a Texas Speed cam in it. There's nothing wrong with Texas Speed. I've now swapped 5 of these trucks, all with these headers. I'm probably not going to open these up, but if you need the part number, we're going to put the part number right here, right there. I'll probably drop the link in the comments just so you guys know. These are for a 99 to 07 pickup truck, 4-wheel drive. They fit everything. They make it 1 3/4 and they make 1 7/8. Of course, we got the 1 7/8 boys. We'll go ahead and open these up just so you guys can kind of see. I'm sure you know what's in this box here. It's pretty self-explanatory when a box comes in looking like this. I guess we'll get this box out of the way. So this box right here, go right there for all your wiring harness needs. I have now used 4 of their harnesses. I have not had an ounce of issues with them, and they are probably the best in the business with simplicity and customer support. Holley is very good if you want to use the aftermarket ECU, but these guys, if you're using the stock ECU, are the way to go. I won't open it up. It's just going to be a bundle of wires, and it's going to scare all you guys. So, but I wanted to tell you where I kind of get some of my parts. So all these goodies coming up. Alright, we got a whole packing list full of parts. This is quite a bit of money in parts. I mean, you're looking at I think it was almost $2,000 for all this, but like I said, I got the headers and everything. So we got literally everything from start to finish. You know, I don't even know what this is. Oh, it's the oil pump gear. Oil pump gear for the new timing set. I got all genuine GM parts just because they were a little bit on the cheaper side. So here's your timing sprocket and stuff. I always like to put a new one of these on when I do a cam swap. So it just makes it a little cleaner looking in there, and it's a little bit of safety for extra measures. And I really don't think this was that expensive. I think this was like $100 with the new gear and timing chain set. We got a new oil pump. This is a Melling oil pump. This is I want to say standard pressure, high volume oil pump. That's what I run in all my stuff. Of course, we got this guy that everybody's probably wanting to see right now. We got a big old camshaft here. This is, if I remember right, the Texas Speed BFD Chop Monster is what they call this thing. They actually call this the Chop Monster. It's a pretty radical camshaft, more so just for sound than anything. Let me open it up, see if we can get the cam card out of here. So yeah, it's a pretty big guy. Let's see. Yeah, you're looking at 629 lift, 600 lift, and the lobe separation is 108 lobe separation. So your LSA is going to be pretty steep there. So it's going to chop quite a bit harder than most will. The intake duration is 233, 240. Like I said, that's pretty standard camshaft size. 600 lift in the LS world is just another cam. Hydraulic roller, of course. Everything you need right here in this box. I think I hooked up, I mean, this is really not like strictly for just power cam here. This is for just about whatever you want to do. And basically for sound. When I talked to this guy about what he wanted. He told me he wanted it to chop pretty aggressively, so that's what we did. I kind of showed him a couple videos of my trucks and whatnot, and he said he wanted it to chop just like it, if not a little more if he could. So he's not looking to do anything crazy with this truck. He really wants it for the sound and looks feature. I mean, it's a single cab short bed on a 6-inch lift. What else do you want to do with it? So he's wanting to do car shows, stuff like that. This will be a big attention getter. So I figured it'd be easier just to bring it on over here. These are, of course, the valve springs right there. We got hardened push rods over here, 7/4s, of course, because that's what they call for. Like I said, this is the oil pump drive gear. This is actually your lifters, GM LS7 lifters. If you want lifters, you're gonna have to pay for them. That's the sad part. They're not $185 like they used to be. We got lifter trays here, brand new GM LS2 lifter trays from Texas Speed. And then we got this guy right here. This is most likely going to be your trunnion kit. We are doing an upgraded trunnion. This is the timing chain straight from GM. This is all factory stuff. If we were going to be big dog, turbo in, stuff like that, maybe get a double roller. Probably don't need to anyways, but that's what I went with. All the gaskets for everything are down in there. So basically everything we need to do this is going to be right in here. Like I said, nothing crazy, stock $5 balancer bolt, but once you take them off, you got to put them back in. So I will get you guys set up here, and we're probably going to do a little tear down on this engine. Can you guys see that? Pretty sweet. So I don't know if you've seen that. I kind of ran into a couple issues getting the oil pump drive gear off. I didn't have a jaw that was really big enough. I just had these little 2-jaw puller, little clamp guy, itty bitty guy. Not really made for it, but I got it to work. So I took a crankshaft bolt for any of you guys, cut the head off, cut a piece in there so I can use a flathead screwdriver, and it goes right in here, threads right in, and it sits flush. Because my jaws weren't long enough to reach down in there, so I went ahead and made my own little tool to sit flush because it would just barely fit on it. But I got that off of there. I got the cam out. The cam looked all right, the old cam. Here, I'll set this down. The old cam looked all right. Nothing like wear wise. So like usually you're looking, you know, here for scratches or anything like that. This all 100% looks normal. 100% normal. There is some rust on this side, like from where a lifter was sitting on the cam. So it would probably clean up if we were to run it. It'd probably be fine, but these things are garbage. I don't know if you know that or not, but they're just basically a big old hot steamy pile of trash. I would never use a stock 6-liter, stock 5.3 cam like that. But if you do have a stock LS1 cam or a stock LS6 cam or even an LS7 cam, they do make pretty good upgrades on these bone stock 5.3 6-liter combos. They do have quite a bit more lift. That's what we did in the Monte Carlo. If you want to go back to that video, that we put LS7 cam in it. You do have to change the front cover because it's got a cam drive on the front of it, a cam gear sensor on the front of it instead of the back. So, but yeah, we're gonna get this new cam all lubed up, put some oil on it, get it shoved in there. And by the way, you don't ever look at LS cam bearings. Yeah, just don't. They usually don't look the best, but honestly, if you look at them longer, they look a lot worse. So if you just stick it in there, they're fine. LS cam bearings always usually have some sort of problem with the look. Hell, any push rod engine, you're gonna have a lot more wear than you should after a couple 150,000 miles, but it's fine. We got a new cam, so a new cam's all that matters. So we're gonna take this guy here, we're gonna put some premium 1540 oil on it, and I would usually use like a lube of some sort, like a cam gear lube or something of that nature. Now, one thing you want to watch for is these new cams, fresh off the grinder. They are pretty sharp on the edge, so when you're doing this, you want to be kind of careful with. You will cut yourself, and then you have oil in it. But yeah, this is always the fun part, just sliding the big old camshaft right in these LS motors. You want to be real careful. Like I said, if you do this just wrong or a little too aggressive, you will have some problems. I mean, not only in the engine world, but you will have some problems if you try to get just a touch too aggressive. So we're just going to take this here, oil, and we're going to sprinkle a little all down this cam, and then you're going to sit there. You're going to want to get as much of it on there as possible. Make a mess all over your garage too while you're doing it. But you're just going to grab it. You're just going to give it the old grab and twist method here. This might look a little wrong to some of you guys, but you're just going to try to slide it in as easy as you can. And then, but yeah, you're just going to put it on in there. A lot of you have installed camshafts before. Some of you haven't. LS engines are very easy. Small block Chevys are very easy. Hell, everything but like your overhead cam engines are pretty easy. And those are even similar and kind of easy too, I guess to say. But yeah, you're just going to take a little bit of oil, put it all over this thing. You'll never put too much oil. So a little bit of advice. A little goes a long way, but it's fine. So. Subarus. But that bolt that I just used, I don't know, or that I cut in half, crankshaft bolt, will work fantastic as a lever for this thing. Basically just stick it up in here in the front of the cam, or yeah, front of the cam, and you just ever so slightly slide it in there and do a little pickup lever. You gotta pick this cam up to get it slid in there, and then just like that. So the cam is in there now. Basically, it's pretty self-explanatory to put a cam in an LS engine, but that's what we're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and get the front timing cover put back on. I figured I'd at least show you guys this since it's kind of interesting, and it's probably the most fun part of all this. So, but yeah, we'll get this all put together and we'll go from there. So I kind of stopped that last time lapse because I didn't have an oil pan gasket. Out of all the gaskets I got header gaskets, front cover, rear cover, front timing seal, everything. I ran out of gaskets. So I did not have an oil pan gasket, so I ran to the parts store. And when I ran to the parts store, I went ahead and got an oil pan gasket and got the front cover, everything like that put on, all cleaned up and put on there. When I got done doing that last time lapse, most of this was already done besides the front timing cover. It's literally just some 10mm bolts. So I went ahead and wrapped that up real quick before I put you back on camera now. But I'm going to do something that a lot of people I don't know necessarily do. A lot of people don't put these back in there, and a lot of people don't necessarily do them right. So I'm going to put this up and kind of explain to you what I'm doing with these here knock sensors. So I went to the parts store when I got that oil pan gasket. I grabbed 2 brand new knock sensors and I grabbed a harness, and they're a little pricey. I want to say they're like $50 a knock sensor, and then you got to buy a harness for $40, or you can buy the pigtail ends. But I didn't have that option because the pigtail ends were not in stock. So I just got what I had, and I went ahead and put those on there. So we're gonna put brand new knock sensors in it. And I kind of want to just tell you, when you put these in, always put silicone right around here before you pop those rubber covers in, because they will hold water. If those things hold water and if they don't seal up, you're most likely going to get water in your oil, or the sensors are going to fail prematurely and it's going to cause weird spark detonating codes, or you're going to get spark knock and it's not going to run good. So I go ahead and put those back in. A lot of guys, they just delete them completely, but I like having them because it's a good safety catch. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in real quick, and then this is probably gonna end out this video. So short blocks put together, all I gotta do is paint it. I still gotta decide on what couple colors I'm gonna powder coat some of these brackets and whatnot, but I think this is gonna end this first episode. This is gonna be technically considered part 1 OBS swap, 6-liter build, whatever you wanna call it. We'll come up with something cool, hopefully, and not bad for a night in the garage and a night in the new garage. Kind of cool. First project I'm doing here is LS build, so that's neato.